Despite a few well-written Reddit posts and excellent research articles, my understanding regarding the effects of gaboxadol hydrochloride, THIP, remained veiled. The THIP reports inquire a vast range of effects that resemble that of the fickle nature of Z drugs, sedation, dissociation, hallucinations, euphoria, etc., which served both disappointment and titillation, for I am addicted to these sorts of substances. So, what do the academic journals have to say? Well, I read a few that held vaguely defined aversive events and equally uninformed ambiguous terminology for side effect profiles. Suffice to say, the elusive nature of the psychopharmacologic effects, despite well-documented testing, adds to the mysticism of this compound for people like me. Anyways, we all know the scoop of gaboxadol, a novel GABA, agonist born from an Amanita muscaria trip having been brought to many unsuccessful applications in the lab. How quaint. Even more interesting. It acts on tonic neurotransmission due to its strange choice of extrasynaptic hangout spots and has had a mysterious recall just before it got through the third stage of clinicals for insomnia. It sounds like this compound has had time to simmer to grow wise even. It sounds like this medicine may be another cure insomniacs may throw onto their pile for when they want to enjoy absurd effects and sleep the night away. It sounds like I might just spend a bunch of money to have a small amount synthesized and imported so that I may attempt to evaluate its recreation and efficacy relative to the current common hypnotics. Or maybe find out why the last-minute recall was put into effect. To be clear, this is my subjective experience with gaboxadol. I am tolerant to GABAergic drugs and find the unusual side effects pleasurable. To start, I took 5 mg sublingually. This was acidic tasting but not irritating. Unfortunately, there were no effects. Afterward, I dosed 15 mg sublingually, which irritated my mouth but, again, produced no pronounced effects. It was only when I took 20 mg orally did I notice minimal perceptive and cognitive euphoria, similar to that of a muddled Ambien. I found that 40 mg was the sweet spot. It produced pronounced effects with an onset of 45 minutes that were most similar to the euphoric components of Ambien. The differences between gaboxadol and Ambien seemed to be that gaboxadol produced a feeling of thickened motor activity akin to barbiturates and lacked the hallucinogenic and empathogenic undertones that Ambien consistently produced. To add, immoderate cognitive and tactile euphoria allotted a delightful drunkenness during waking hours. Sleep architecture was not disturbed, even, the intensity of dreams seemed heightened. This may not be conducive towards proper slow-wave rest, but it is interesting to note that REM sleep appeared enhanced. The morning after felt most refreshed, compared to the other hypnotics I have used. Here I have marked my subjective tier list of the common hypnotics based on their euphoric psychopharmacological effects along with any notable aversive effects. As you can see, gaboxadol has ranked equally enjoyable to Ambien, whereas other Z drugs are less preferred overall. Lunesta is less magical, rather, more inclined towards the benzodiazepine feeling and leaves a mild hangover. Sonata is effervescent but is rather fleeting and not very efficacious. Imovane is efficacious but produces the least enjoyable experience due to its lingering metallic taste and heavy hangover. Overall, gaboxadol feels like it is to Ambien what Valium is to Klonopin. Raises some questions regarding the inability to reach consumer market. While it is known to be safe to use, and promotes similar effects to current standing hypnotics, why would it have been recalled after the multiple attempts of investment of research and development? Could the negative politics surrounding hypnotics have played a role? Could it have displayed unprecedented addictive properties? Could it perpetuate undocumented aversive events? Could its efficacy become negligible after a short period of use? What do you think?